I wanted to show you the 3 products that I use after I shampoo my hair. I only shampoo every other day, sometimes every 3rd day. So this is what I do after I've shampooed and it's still damp. It's starting to air dry a little bit, but it's still pretty damp and needs to either be blow dried or styled and then allowed to air dry. So I always use the Rejuvenique oil, which also comes in a light version if your hair's thinner or finer. I use either the blowout cream, which I'm going to use today because I'm going to blow dry. If I know I'm not going to blow dry, then I use the curl cream, curl defining cream, and then I use the Moxie Mousse on the top. My hair is pretty thick, but even if your hair is not as thick as mine, I still think you should section it off. So I section the top part off just with a hair tie. And I'm going to get closer so you can kind of see the texture of my hair. This part right here above my ears is really coarse, so I always use extra oil there. It's winter, so I use a little more than I normally would in the summer. But it comes in a dropper, and I'm going to start with 1 drop. Rub it in my hands, and then I'm going to do the left side of my hair. I'm not really getting it into my roots, but I do go up pretty close just because of how coarse my hair is. If your hair is not as coarse, maybe just stay towards the ends. I'm going to do 1 more drop for that super coarse area above my ears. It is just really, really, really coarse and frizzy. You can see right here, I've got gray roots, so my hair is pretty gray, which is why it's so coarse. Again, 1 drop. And then an extra drop in this section right here. Just gets super fuzzy. Okay. So since I'm going to blow dry today, I'm going to use the blowout cream. I use about that much on the bottom half of my hair. You're going to want to play with how much you need. At first I was using too much and my hair almost got too soft. And again, I'm kind of doing that, pray method of distributing it through. And again, I like to use it pretty close up to my roots, especially under here because my hair is so coarse. If you might find you only want to use it, midway down. All right, so I've got the curl cream and the Rejuvenique oil, or I'm sorry, not curl cream, blowout cream, and the Rejuvenique oil, and I'm just going to comb that through. Okay, the top of my hair isn't quite as coarse as the bottom. I'm going to just do 2 drops right off the bat. Rub that in. And here I really am only going to do mid down. I use about the same amount, whether I'm using the curl cream or the blowout cream, I use the same amount. Now, I know some people like to use the blowout cream on their roots. Again, it makes my hair too soft. So I don't like to use it on my roots. Instead I use the Moxie Mousse on my roots. Okay. And again, I'm gonna comb it through, make sure it's even. All right, now here's the mousse. I have, other than Big Hair 80s, I've never really been into mousse, but I absolutely love this Moxie Mousse. So I gave it a shake. That's about all I'm gonna need. And I like to use it mostly here in the front. The reason why I like this so well is, I might use a tad more, is that it holds, but it's not sticky like store-bought mousses. It's hard to describe. A friend of mine who got me into MONAT, she kept telling me how much she loves the mousse, and her boys love to use the mousse. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really care about mousse. And she convinced me to try it, and I'm so glad she did. And you can almost tell it's holding it better even just wet. My hair is pretty heavy, but if I use the mousse, I don't hardly have to use any hairspray on my roots. So when it's styled, I like, you know, to have volume on top and kind of that lift that you see here. And before I wouldn't use the mousse, and I'm blow drying, and then I would have to come through and spray a lot of hairspray so that I could still have that lift, but I don't need to do that with the mousse. So I'm using a fraction of the hairspray that I used to. All right, so I will come back and take a still shot after I'm done blow drying.